burger buns. Now, in a previous episode, I did the Impossible Burgers, and I had mentioned that they were homemade rolls. So we tested them, we love them, and now I'm gonna show you how to make them. It isn't my recipe, it's actually a recipe I got from another website, but I will put a link to the recipe down below in the description. Just a heads up, these are not gluten-free. I did a little bit of prep work ahead of time, and I put the half a cup of warm water in with a tablespoon of yeast. And then in this one, I did 2 tablespoons of water and 1 tablespoon of ground flaxseed. You're gonna wanna let these sit for about 10 minutes before you mix them together and continue to make your rolls. I'm gonna add the flaxseed mixture into the yeast. In here, I have a half a cup of coconut milk and 2 tablespoons of olive oil. I'm just gonna real quickly stick this in the microwave. Now, the recipe calls for coconut oil. However, if you don't have coconut oil, you can use olive oil, that's perfectly fine.
Supposed to have coconut oil, but I forgot to get it when I went shopping. You can never trust me on solo shopping missions.
And I'm warming it for 30 seconds, because you just don't want the milk to be too cold. Ah, geez, back up, sir. Add this in. To this mixture, before I whisk it, I'm gonna add a teaspoon of salt, and then I'm gonna add 2 tablespoons of cane sugar. Now I'm gonna get my trusty little whisk and whisk it up a little. Everything's whisked and incorporated. The last ingredient is going to be some organic flour. You can use whole wheat flour if you want. I'm just using regular white organic flour. To give you a heads up, this is gonna be a little sticky, the dough, but never be afraid to add more flour. It calls for 3, but by the time you're done kneading the dough, it might be closer to 4. Spatula time. You're just gonna start slowly mixing it around and incorporating it. The dough is quite sticky. It'll stick to your hands, but I put it into a little ball. What I'm gonna do is grab a nice big handful of flour, spread it down on my mat, and I'm gonna knead the dough for 8 to 10 minutes. Montage time! So I've kneaded it for, well, now 9 minutes, so anywhere between 8 and 10 minutes. As you can see, it's no longer sticky, so it's not gonna stick to your hands or the mat. You just keep adding flour a little bit at a time until it gets to that point. I have a bowl over here, a nice big metal bowl. I put a little bit of olive oil in the bottom of it. And what you do is just spread the olive oil around the inside of the bowl. Now you're gonna grab your dough, plop it in the bowl, and then take a towel and cover your dough. You're gonna put it in a warm place for an hour and a half. It's been a little over an hour, like an hour and 15 minutes, and I took the dough out. As you can see, it raised really nicely. So what they recommend is to put it on your work surface and divide it into 8 pieces. You can do that. What I found is I just pull it out in little round balls and stick it on the tray and make it into 8 pieces. So whatever you prefer. You divide into 8 pieces. So let's just break it in half first. Hey, make sure to you wash your hands before you touch the dough. Okay, so we're gonna take this, divide it. We're looking for 8 little round pieces. I don't make them super perfect. You can just put them in a little ball because they're gonna puff up again anyway. Okay, so now you're gonna let these rise for another 30 to 40 minutes before you bake them off. What I usually do is just slide them right back in the oven where I had them, just warm, uncovered. They're gonna puff up to a beautiful size. It has been 30 minutes and these have raised beautifully. So it makes 8 in total. I'm now preheating the oven to 375. Once it's preheated, I'm gonna stick these in for 15 to 18 minutes and you'll be good to go. The buns are done. Time to get them out. They smell delicious and they look awesome. Nice and golden brown on the top. Thank you for watching. And if you have any questions or comments, you can comment below. If you make these, comment and let us know what you thought of them. Thanks for watching, guys. And you know, hit us up on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook at Life is Trail Running. Like and subscribe. Run the dirt.